Good morning, beautiful, peaceful, loving people. I'm here with you this morning so we can talk about sleep. So, as I look at the internet, I see a lot of people talking about not being able to sleep and what can they do, especially with interest in what can they do that would be natural and not pharmaceutical or habit forming. So sleep, my disclaimer, I have spent a lifetime not sleeping. So I am not an expert on sleep. What I am a life expert on is not sleeping. So let's try to find a way to help everyone get better sleep. Um, Not getting enough sleep can come in a few different ways and can come from many different places. So not getting enough to sleep can be from a problem of being able to fall asleep. Maybe when you go to bed and you get into bed, you cannot get your mind to let go or your body to settle down, and so you cannot get to sleep. And you lay there for hours getting more and more frustrated, and it gets harder and harder then to go to sleep. Um, so a lot of people have that issue. Sometimes problems with sleep could be a matter of I fall asleep just fine, but then I cannot stay asleep. Perhaps you sleep a couple of hours and you wake up, and then you go back to sleep a couple of hours and you wake up. A lot of times, these issues are tied to bathroom use um, or dreams. Or perhaps you go to sleep and sleep for 4 or 5 hours or even 6 and then wake up, but you're always feeling like you didn't get enough. Um, we're told by those that know that we should be sleeping 7 to 8 hours a night or else. So the or else is, to me, more of a pressure. It gives more anxiety than it helps. I do believe we're each unique individuals, and so what works for us works for us. I understand they like a playbook, but what works for you will work for you, and that's where we want to go, in my view. Okay, so some people can't get to sleep. Some people can't stay asleep. Some people have what's called fitful sleep or restless sleep. Perhaps their bodies are doing something the whole night, or their minds are so overwrought that they really don't feel like they just were able to relax and get some rest. And that can have a lot of causes also. So, um, when we do go to sleep, our body actually is busy. It's doing things while we're asleep. It's doing some restoration and repair work. Our lymphatic systems tend to do most of their work, the heavy, heavy parts of their work. In the first couple of hours, we're trying to go to sleep. And so that's a lot of work for our bodies. And if we're missing out on sleep, we could be missing out on some of the detoxing that the lymphatic system provides for us, which if that happens, then that can become a bad snowball, and bad snowballs are not good. They're things we need to handle. As always with me, it comes back to know thyself and love thyself. So know thyself. You need to know what your sleeping patterns are, what what the effects are. Are the effects from sleep? I mean, if we're low energy, we blame sleep, but could it be something else? Are we getting enough sleep? Are you getting 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep a night, but you still feel tired? That could be something, could be restless sleep, or it could be something totally different. So you need to monitor your body, monitor yourself, know what your sleep habits are. And you need to be reasonable about where we can go. An example, if you work overnight, then you need a sleep pattern that adjusts and provides for you and that overnight working schedule. Or let's say you're a creative person, and so your best creative time is in the middle of the night. So you need to consider, can you readjust your whole lifestyle to accommodate being up a couple of hours in the middle of the night every night? The thing that we get tied up in is our minds, you know. If we didn't get 8 hours of sleep, we're doomed. And then it kind of is like a bowling ball heading for the pins. It knocks everything else down. So we've got to keep our minds in more of a relaxed state when it comes to sleep. Sleep is interesting because while it provides rest and relaxation, it causes a lot of the opposite, anxiety and stress. So we really do need to work this issue in two ways. One, where we are calming our mind down to the resistance of no sleep, um, to the degree where we are not causing ourselves anxiety or stress. We're going to find a way to provide sleep in our lives that matches our lives and matches us. And so we can calm our minds down now, trusting ourselves that we're going to take care of this problem for ourselves. Okay, so we've covered quite a few reasons why you might not be sleeping. And we've covered some of the body issues that are affected by not sleeping, because your lymphatic system can be affected by that. Your mind can be affected by that. Your mind does a lot of resets and processes at night when you're sleeping. And so you do need that downtime for those things. If we cannot get those in 8 hour blocks at night, we have to adjust our lifestyles to provide for some way. Now, there's a yogic meditation that claims it gives 8 hours of sleep benefits, I believe, in just a short period of time. And so you may be a person that absolutely needs to learn that yogic trick and get that into your life so that you can survive the way your sleep works and it can provide for you what you need. My way of dealing with no sleep is uh, two ways, three ways maybe. But mainly I love naps, and I catch naps when I can and as often as I can. And the nap can be 5 minutes, it can be an hour. Different people have different beliefs about different lengths of time of a nap and how deep you nap. I tell my body that I trust it to know what it needs, and then I go ahead and let it get a nap. If I have a timeline, perhaps I only have 20 minutes, then I can tell my body, we're going to go ahead and rest for 15, set a timer, lay down for 15, practice some deep, slow breaths, have my eyes closed. I may not get to what we call a deep, deep sleep, but I let my body and mind rest. I promised it 15 minutes. I gave it 15 minutes. Um, you know, your body knows and you know what you need in rest. We have to look at the emotional side also, though, because a lot of us who are emotionally upset or even damaged tend to want more rest. Depression often demands rest. And so there's a very gentle border there of what is needed for our emotions and what is needed for our physical health. And that comes down to you, knowing what's going on in your life, knowing what could be doing what, monitoring, paying attention, and taking care of yourself. Loving yourself enough to give yourself what you need. Sometimes you have to take it into your own power to give yourself what you need, such as a nap. So there are several different ways naturally to help your body rest and relax. I'm going to go through a quick list and we'll talk about each one kind of quickly. Valerian root, St. John's wort, ashwagandha, melatonin, magnesium, wild lettuce, CBD, CBN, warm milk with vanilla and honey, YouTube sleep videos, and hypnosis, whether it's self-hypnosis or hypnosis with a hypnotist. Hypnosis can help. So these are quite a few different ways you can go. Now, as to the supplements that you would take, these are all natural, but I still would not take something every day, every night, every day. For two reasons. I'm a microdoser, and I believe in microdosing. I don't believe in um, becoming dependent on anything every day. Sometimes I do use things every day, but I never prescribe something every day. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody but me, but that's how it is. The other thing is you'll become acclimated, and it will lose its ability to help you. It's an aid. It's not the way. Um, And when I do take them, I don't take them every day and I rotate them because so I rotate them for two reasons. One, because I believe different ones have different uses for different things. And I rotate them because, again, if you take one the whole time, it could tend to lose its effect on you. And so then you become frustrated again with just something else. So if it's your mind that's going on and on, then I like the ashwagandha. For me, the ashwagandha calms my mind. If it's my body that's being particularly full of stress or fidgety, then I like the valerian root. It kind of just gives me a good body relaxation. Um, if it's my emotional upset, St. John's wort, but I understand with any of these, you have to be careful what other prescriptions you might be taking or drugs or supplements. And I think St. John's particularly. Melatonin works. It's a natural thing that our body produces, but it for me, it makes me groggy and it gives me, and I already have crazy dreams, but it gives me really crazy dreams. So I'm hesitant to take it, but I know it works and I know it's good for our body. But I think you get it naturally when you get out in the sun a little bit. And everybody knows I love my plants. So, wild lettuce. Now, I just recently tried wild lettuce and it put me down. So, you want to be home, you want to be done, you want to be ready for bed when you take the wild lettuce. I do use it topically for people for pain too, but I like it. But again, I wouldn't want to use it every day or even a couple of times a week. Once in a while, I would think for that one. I thought it was pretty strong. CBD or CBN. Again, that's an individual choice. You can get it legally for pain or for sleep in most states, or in some states, I guess I should say. So CBD, CBN, I like these lines of products for people, but CBN for me burns my throat. And I'm not sure why. And I've tried the gummies and I've tried the tincture, but it burns my throat. So I would go CBD, but CBN is specifically engineered. Even though it's a natural product, they have pulled specifically those chemicals from the plant that would help you sleep. So, um, warm milk with vanilla and honey. So this one's interesting. So a local raw organic honey is actually a liver superfood. And since your liver is doing most of its work right when you're about to try to lay down and go to sleep, if you give it a superfood pill, say an hour, half hour before you go to bed, it seems like that would facilitate that work it's about to do. And so it helps your liver do its work. And in that sense, helps you be able to get into a better restful sleep. The warm milk and vanilla is sort of something I do with myself all the time. So I like to train my body and mind They are my tools for this lifetime, and I like to train them. So rituals, little rituals, can really put your mindset in a place that you have predetermined. So I tell my mind, if I drink a warm milk with vanilla in it, I'm telling you it's sleepy time. It's time to relax and get to bed. And by reinforcing that ritual over and over again, it absolutely does start to work. So it takes a while for it to really sink in and take hold. But if you stay with it and you practice that, and it can be anything, it really can be anything. I love little rituals that we do for ourselves to get ourselves into mindsets, to help train our bodies, to help put us into states of relaxation. There's just a million things you can do with ritual for your life. But so warm milk and vanilla is my little go to sleep ritual. YouTube sleep videos. So YouTube, like anything on this earth, has good and bad. Sorry, YouTube. There's good and bad on there. Um, and that's my opinion of what I think good and bad means. But here's what I will say about using their videos. I always look for the ones that have been on there for a really long time. 3, 5, 7 years. The longer the better, I think, because it's still on there because people are still using it. If it's been on there that long, there should be people using it that are happy, but I do go ahead and I look at the comments and I actually read the comments and see what people are saying about the video. If people are liking it, if people are feeling benefit, then it's worth looking into. And then the third thing I do with a YouTube video is I muscle test. So muscle testing is where you ask your body, your intuition, your muscles, every cell of you, to let you know if this is something that it needs or it doesn't need, it likes or doesn't like. And so you clear your mind and body, sit in front of this video and start it. And in the first couple of seconds, if this video feels right and good, it's right and good. If it does not feel right, let it go. There are so many on there. You have a million choices, so let it go. The ones you do like, go ahead and drop into a library. And that way, as you need them, they're always there. You don't have to go look for them again, which, oh my God, will keep you awake right there. So, and then the last thing that I offer up as a natural way to find better sleep and rest is hypnosis. Whether it's self-hypnosis or hypnosis with a hypnotist, hypnosis is actually the same thing as the milk and honey ritual. It's getting to the subconscious part of your mind, the part where your habits and um, your life rituals exist, and going ahead and reprogramming that a little bit to let go of the stress or to work with the fear or to accept relaxation or to go ahead and do something where you can set aside concerns, list, and worries till the next day or however long you have. Maybe you have till the next day. Maybe you only have 2 hours. You give yourself that. So hypnosis can be amazing. I do agree that all hypnosis is really self-hypnosis. And so if you are someone who can do self-hypnosis, there's no reason why you shouldn't. It's easy to do, it's inexpensive. There are videos again on how to do it, or books, or people that can help. Um, if you're someone who prefers to work with someone while you're being hypnotized, and that's understandable, there are so many hypnotists, and I am one. So I am here to help. There are many, many more. And do the same as you would anything. Look at the reviews, look at what they do, talk to them, hear their voice, muscle test them, see how they feel. Um, and then you can use hypnosis as a tool for your life. It is an amazing tool. It can make an amazing difference. It can help. So I believe that the next thing with sleep is If you are having trouble, oh, this popped up right in the middle of my screen. Let me get that over here. If you're having trouble falling asleep, one of the first things you want to do is check the bedroom or wherever you sleep. Is it conducive to sleep? Is it dark enough? Is it comfortable enough? Is it quiet enough? These things are conducive to sleep. Um, some people can fall asleep anywhere in any circumstance, and God bless them, because I envy them for sure. But many of us, like me, I need dark, I need quiet. Sometimes I can do thunder. I like thunder, but sometimes I need quiet. But make sure your bedroom matches your style or your sleep area. And if you're in a situation where it isn't quiet, earplugs. And if you're in a situation where it isn't dark, then use a sleep mask. I actually love mine. I just started using it all these years, but I love it. It helps me. If the bedroom seems to be in good order and you don't think it's the bed or the bedroom or something about the bedroom, um, then think about what else could be the issue. Are you worried about your safety in your place? I mean, you can do things about that, and so that you can get better rest. Are you just worried about everything? So then it becomes a matter of being able to quiet the mind. One of the things that works for me, and it actually is a form of self-hypnosis, is counting slow, deep breaths. And when I first started it, my mind interfered all the time, all the time. I barely made it past three every time. So my mind would start kicking in with everything, the list again. And you just gently go back to it. Count slow, deep breaths. When you do, just keep reinforcing that very gentle, loving practice. You will be amazed at how much it can help you go ahead and get to sleep. Um, Keeping a pad or notebook on the side table can work for some people. If you have a particular worry or thing you have to do or get done, get up, date it, write it down, close the book or put the list down and say, okay, that will wait now until tomorrow. It'll be there waiting for me. And let it sit there. There's no need for you to carry stuff through the night where your body needs its rest and time. Um, if you're on a screen all the time, even if you can't nap or sleep, please, please give your eyes breaks during the day. Um, I don't know how you got to do it, how it works for you, but close your eyes for at least 3 minutes, like 5 times a day. If you're on a screen all the time or a lot, because your eyes, they're not meant to, for 24/7 of that, and they're really getting a lot of it. Another thing we don't do with our eyes a lot is focus far. Focus in the distance. When you're driving in the car and you're not the driver, do that. Focus for the distance. Okay, so I'm digressing from sleep. So you check your bedroom, check your body and your health, because that can be interfering. Of course, a lot of people have pain. And while we're busy during the day, it's easy to ignore our pains. But when our mind settles down and we're trying to go to sleep and get comfortable at night, that pain can rear its ugly head and give us hell. So if pain is the issue, we need to find a way to deal with the pain. And that's like a whole nother video, but we need to find a way to deal with the pain. And there are ways. There are hypnosis ways to deal with pain. There are pain oils that work. There are pain supplements that work. We just would have to find the one that works for you. But identify if that's what the problem is, because then sleep is no longer the enemy. It's the pain that we have to go after. And then the sleep will probably fall into place. Um, So once you identify what the issue is, then we can identify the best way to come at the issue. And maybe we come at it multiple ways, but then we can come after it and see what we can do about it for everybody. So that's if you're having trouble falling asleep. If you're having trouble staying asleep, then there could be, and there it goes popping up right in the middle of my screen again. If you're having trouble staying asleep, there's a number of different reasons, of course, for that too. And so a lot of people say it's a bathroom issue. If you got to get up and use the bathroom, you got to get up and use the bathroom. I mean, um, but don't put in your mind that that means you have to stay up. You can have in your mind, let me go get this done and get back into bed and get back to relaxed. And that can be done with practice, that can be done with reinforcement or hypnosis. So you want your mind to accept that you could get right back to the bed and right back to sleep. There are other ways to deal with the need to use the restroom throughout the night. Again, a whole nother video, but there are other ways to deal with some of that. And if not, then we get to the mindset of accepting and getting right back to bed, or adjusting our sleep patterns so we can sleep catch up in the day. Um, they recommend 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night, but here's my viewpoint, and it differs. First, people were more normally polyphasic sleepers instead of 8-hour sleepers once upon a time. Before the industrial age, we didn't really all sleep 8 hours a night. We generally tended to sleep in blocks as our work came and went, either on the farm or as survivors. We tend to sleep in blocks. And some of us are absolutely still wired that way. And you might be wired that way. You might be a polyphasic sleeper. So you can look that up. But they don't tell you that. What they tell you is that if you don't sleep 7 to 8 hours a night, something's going to happen to you. Physically, emotionally, mentally, you're going to break down. And I don't like when professionals tell people they're going to break down. You can tell them it's better for you if you do this. But when you tell people they're going to break down, you tell them what they can and can't take. And doctors don't know that about each of us to a large degree. Okay, so having given that little piece of 2 cents, don't get anxiety ridden if you're not sleeping 7 to 8 hours a night. I think the anxiety doesn't help. It just adds to the issue. So we're not going to fill ourselves with anxiety and stress because we don't sleep. Being tired seems to be almost epidemic in people today. So I think it has a lot to do with a lot of different things. Breathing is one of the very big main things I think that keeps our energy low, is the way we've started breathing in life. So look at breathing as a way to get more energy. Again, another video, but there are other ways to get other energy. So is our lack of energy from lack of sleep, or is it from lack of oxygen? Is it from lack of circulation? Is it from lack of lymphatic drainage? Do we have heart issues? Are our lungs healthy? So there's a lot of other things to look at in terms of our energy levels. When we do wake up, we've got to get ourselves trained. You're waking up in the middle of the night, and the first thing that generally comes to mind is aggravation because we woke up. And we've got to train ourselves not to do that. Again, not helpful. It's not helping us to get aggravated that we woke up, because that will keep us from getting back to sleep. Be gentle and loving with yourself. It happens all the time and for a million reasons. Appreciate it for a moment, the quiet, the peacefulness, the hello, if that's what it was. Some people think it is. And then tell yourself, okay, in my world, all is quiet and beautiful and peaceful, and I'm going to go back to sleep now. Um, that doesn't work instantly. That's not, oh gosh, that first night I did that and that worked. No. That's, again, a retraining of the mind because your mind has become to where it wakes up and it gets anxious. So we retrain our minds to stay calm, stay okay. It's peaceful. It's all right. We can use the sleep assistance. Some of those will help you stay asleep. I don't like the idea of using anything to sleep that puts me so asleep that I wouldn't wake up if there was a fire or a tornado alarm or someone banging on my door. Um, so part of my no sleep thing is I can't give up the control of being aware of what's going on around me. That's a biggie. So that would be something I would go after with hypnosis and mind training and ritual. Um, so again, be kind to yourself, keep it peaceful. You can't, the thing with the assistance, and when I'm talking about the assistance, I'm talking about the valerian root, the St. John's wort, the melatonins. One of the things with those I find definitely is if I wake up in the middle of the night, I can't take it in the middle of the night because then when I'm trying to wake up at 6 o'clock for work, I'm tired and groggy because they will leave you tired and groggy if you don't get enough sleep. So you almost have to know a no sleep night is coming to be able to take it. So sometimes if you've had a no sleep night a few nights in a row, you go ahead and give yourself to the assistant and say, help me, I need some sleep. Um, but it's not something really that is useful when you wake up in the middle of the night because you don't have enough time, unless you do, maybe you do, but if unless you have enough time to allow yourself, you don't want to wake up groggy and have to run out and go to work. Um, be kind to yourself, be loving to yourself. Look for many different ways to stay asleep or go to sleep naturally. There are a lot of ways. Even the assistants I named is just the tip of the iceberg. There are many. A warm bath works well for many people. A song that you've trained your mind to fall asleep to works well for some people. Uh, if you need help, ask for help. People like me, I'm on Facebook at Awahi-Natural Wellness. I'm a hypnotist, I'm an herbalist, I'm an essential oil specialist, and a wellness facilitator. So if you need help, a massage therapist, a Reiki practitioner, a yoga teacher, there's so many ways for you to get there. Stop letting people tell you that you can't. Thank you for listening. Have a beautiful day.